Hey, what's up everyone? I feel kind of blah. I'm going to try to get through this video, which I wanted to make around yesterday, but I never did get to it. Alright, so I had a very strange dream, and it wasn't because I was watching any movies or shows related to that topic. I just randomly had that dream, and it felt so real. It felt like I was in another reality. Like I was literally in this other place. So I'll go ahead and tell you what it was about. So this person offered to let me be in a simulation or a game situation where I was able to go into this place and leave my body. And they said, try out this new cool game. And so I was like, okay. It was like a trial thing. So I went in. I went in there. I went into the simulation. To this game simulation. I guess it was a game. And oh, he told me I could leave whenever I was ready. They said, you can leave whenever you're ready. And so I got in there, and the moment I was in this place, we were in this shed in this wooden building, and myself along with it was like 50 total people, and we were in this cage, and we were chained up, and we had these handcuffs on us, and they were all locked, and we were supposed to get to this key at the top to unlock it. And so somehow or other they counted down, and they gave us a countdown to get to this key, and we were all in this lock. Maybe it was some kind of a Halloween movie situation of a dream, I don't know. But I was like, how are we supposed to get to that key? And everyone around me were frantic, and they were just ready to win. It was person against person. And they said, and there were these zombies all around. And they said if you get bit, this virus had outbroken. It had there was an outbreak. And they said if you get bit, then you change. So the person next to me, they said it takes a little while before it kicks in. Well, the person next to me got bit, and they started changing. And I can't tell whether some of the people seemed like people, and the rest of them seemed like NPCs. You know how when you're in a game and some of the characters are just already there, and you're the player, or if some people, I'm not a gamer, so I can't describe it properly. But if you are a gamer, then you know that if you're playing on the internet, there are other people playing along with you, but then there are also the programmed characters. You can't program them, you can't change them. They're non-programmable characters. They call them NPCs. And that's what some of the people in there were. So I don't know whether the guy next to me was already programmed to change or what, but he started changing over. And I had to grab the item next to me and stab him in the head in order to kill him like you would a zombie. Like you would when they change. So I did. I couldn't hardly do it. And the person above me, the voice that was speaking above me, said, "Good." He was like, "All right." He said, "You did it. You can do it." That was a test to see if I could actually go through with it. If I was able to with hold up in this game. Sorry, having a lot of pains all over my body. But so that was to see if I could hold up in this scenario. So I did. I went but it was a lot more difficult than I expected to actually do that. Just right, like how they do on the movies and shows. And so I got the person next to me. Then all of a sudden the cage is opening. I finally reached the key, And when I reached the key and pulled it down from this wire, the cage opened, and it opened for all of us. It started opening like a dome cage all around us and went down. And we were able to be free. And our locks broke loose. The locks that were on our arms broke loose. And as we are heading out of that cage, we're looking around the barn, the shed / barn that we're in. And this voice, I don't know where the voice is coming from. It's like a voice from all around you, I guess because we're in the game, directing you what to do. And they said, better grab all the weapons you can while you can, because, you know, you're facing a world outside that is not like the one you're used to. So I grabbed what I could, and I grabbed a pistol and some and a couple of knives that were next to me. And these other guys and people and there's male and female guys and girls just walking around trying to figure out what to do and assess the situation, and we're trying to grab whatever weapons we can. And I walk out, I opened up the door, and there's a few zombies here and there, and I tried to place it in the sight, but as it was moving really fast, and I go, and it was a lot more difficult to hit a moving target than it seems in the dream. And I missed over and over. I hit the shoulder, and I hit part of the chest, and then I hit the very top of the head. And someone else had shot next to me and hit it in the actual head. And they said, you're going to have to work on your aim. And this person come up to me and walked. I don't know if he was a part of the game or what, but he told me. And I said, I was told I could leave whenever I was ready. He said, leave? He said, I've been here for a long time. He was saying, leave when you're ready. He said, they don't let you leave when you're ready. So, and I was like, well, I'm ready to go now. And he said, go. There's no going till you complete the game. So basically, I wasn't allowed to leave until I completed the entire thing. That was what I was told. And he told me, well, I wasn't allowed to leave until I was finished with it. And he claimed he'd been there for decades or whatever, but he said or many years. And he said, I'm not allowed to leave until I finish. He said, and if you die, he said, if you actually die, you go back to square one. You go back to the beginning, and you have to play this all over again until you complete it. So that's what he told me. And so I'm walking on out there, and and this one runs up on me, and I have to grab my knife out of my pocket and stab it in the head several times before the zombie actually falls over. And it was like a post-apocalyptic world. It was kind of a dirt area, like a dirt town. There was dirt all over the place. It was kind of an older type of place. And they had this shed building that I came out of. It was an older town that I was in. And there was kind of this old store. There was an old store up ahead. And on the right was this old building and a house. Kind of like, you know, the old general store type of areas. It was like one of the very last towns like that left. Well, this zombie thing come up to the right of me, and I had to push it away really hard, very difficult pushing it, then pushing it, then I kept hitting it in the head, stabbing the head with this knife that I had, and it died, finally fell. And then I shot one that was right next to me when it got up to right there in my face. Well, then this guy was telling me, you're getting better. He said, you'll get there. And then the next, they said it was like level complete. I was like, okay, that's good, I guess, right? And then I walk on further, and then suddenly pass into another reality. And I am now suddenly in a supermarket. And they tell us, they say this is one of the last places with food, fresh food, because the electricity had just gone out recently. Well, they're actually on backup generators. That's the way it is. The stores were on backup generators, and I think the backup generators last like 72 hours, and the food stays good for that amount of time. And they said, grab what you can. Grab what kind of fresh foods and everything that you can while you can. And I immediately went for the bread. I grabbed the bread and some canned foods. And this one person was saying, "I'm grabbing all I can." There was this woman walking by me. She said, "I'm grabbing all I can. I'm getting everything out, everything I can right now." And this other guy said, I'm not taking anything but just canned foods, because he said all these perishables, they'll go bad. We don't have anything to store them in. They'll go bad in no time. And I said, that's the smart move. The other stuff's just going to attract things, and you won't have any way to store it or save it. So I just grabbed some basic canned foods like canned beans, bread, and anything like that I could get. Containers of water, and I was using the old carts, the carts that were available in the store, and I was going to grab some of those in the front and put the stuff in it. This one person was like saying, "Doesn't matter what you have, someone's going to steal it and take it and try to kill you for it." And it was a very, very intense dream, I'll tell you. And I realized that as this continued to spread everywhere, society is just going on in some places, while others it's collapsing. And I'm just realizing to myself that we're left here in this situation. And I said, I was just saying out loud, I want out. I said, I want out. I'm done now. I want it back. I want back home. And oddly enough, I actually left that place. They said, "You completed the task." I don't remember what I did to complete that second level, that second task, but I used intelligence to know that it's not going to do any good to just hoard and start fighting over food and drinks and pushing people around. It's not going to do any good because it's going to go bad. And they said that I was able to leave. I don't know. I went back, and suddenly I was back on my property, and I was watching traffic go by, and I remembered stating, "Do you see all these people driving by in a uniformed basis, driving by vehicle after vehicle, going where they're going, not realizing the apocalypse is going on around them. Not even those people that are driving, not even realizing the society had collapsed yet." That's what I was saying as I got back to the house. I was saying all these people driving by on the highway, not even aware, completely unaware that collapse had already begun. And then as I went back to my body, as I went back to my body, I actually woke up on the couch. So that was a very strange dream. I don't know, I kept saying maybe it was because it was Halloween, but I don't know, it was a strange dream right there. Alright, that's all. Had to share that dream that I had. I've had several. There's been several things going on as well. But that's one dream that I had I wanted to share. It's documentation. Signing out.